Hi, I'm Richard Rice, inventor of this device, the Sunrise Extender, saying thank you and congratulations on your purchase. This is a brief instructional video to tell you how to use the device. The Sunrise Extender is an affordable, simple, easy to use alternative to a merchant board. And when I say affordable, I mean that for the price of a merchant board, you can get several Sunrise Extenders for your radiology department. And depending on the size of the department, you could possibly have one in each room. By simple, I mean this. Let's take a close-up look. The Sunrise Extender consists of three components: the base, the straps, and the extruders or clips here on the end. The base is what the straps roll around, and these clips on the end are removable and replaceable in case of breakage. And they attach to the cassette just like this. That's the whole purpose of the clips. The nice thing about the Sunrise Extender is that will accommodate any size cassette. Here we have a 14 by 17. We also see an 11 by 14. A 10 by 12, which is, well, either two of these cassettes would be ideal for a bilateral exam on a pediatric patient. And then finally, you have an 8 by 10, which is best for a unilateral exam or an exam at one side, for those of you who aren't familiar with the terminology. Okay, and by easy to use, we're going to go ahead and demonstrate on a patient for you. Okay, this is the instructional portion of the video. Basically what you're going to see is two exams. I'm going to run through the first one at the speed that I would do the exam, with the exception of I'll be giving a brief explanation of each step. After that, I'll go through the exam again a little bit slower with a little more in-depth explanation of what it is you want to do. So this first exam is going to be bilateral knees, meaning both knees, and the second exam will be a unilateral exam, meaning one knee, and I'll show you how it accommodates the different cassette sizes. So before you can start the exam, you want to make sure and have the extender and a cassette close at hand. Then you go ahead and position your patient. Straighten your legs for me. Now it's going to work best if you start the exam with the patient's heels at the end of the table. So go ahead and scoot down just about a foot. That's perfect right there. We're going to be examining both knees. So I go ahead and position the legs. Let's bend your knees somewhat. That's good. Point your toes downward. Perfect. Stay just like that. Good. Now I get my cassette in front of me and my extender. I attach the clips to the top of the cassette. I back roll the extender to make sure that the base is snug against the cassette. This is the only way the extender works. It's very simple, but you have to use it properly. Now that I have that, I place it on the knees. I instruct the patient to go ahead and hold on to the sides of this. Try not to move it when I let go. Okay, we're all set. Now I need to adjust my tube. So I come over here, get my light field, get the tube adjusted to the angle of the knee. Now I double check here and make sure we're good. We're good there. I'm going to slide this over just a little bit to center. Perfect. We're ready to make the exposure. At this point I would make an exposure, but this isn't an actual exam, so I'm not going to do that. That's the end of the first step. Go ahead and relax. Now you'll notice I told her to relax after I grab it onto the cassette. If I had told her before, what can happen is the patient will relax, let go, and this could fall on the patient, injuring them. So you want to make sure not to do that. Now, I'm going to demonstrate a unilateral exam for you. So once again, I have my extender close by. We're going to go ahead and do the left knee, so straighten your right leg. You want the right leg out of the way. I grab my smaller 8 by 10 cassette, connect the clips. Once again, I back roll so it's tied against there. If the cassette isn't touching the base, you don't have any support. So it's important that you have the cassette and the base close together. Now I'm going to place it where the cassette is centered on the knee and the extender is also centered on the leg. Go ahead and grab the sides. There you go. Just like that. And then once again, I would adjust my tube so that it's perpendicular to the cassette and catching the patellofemoral joint space. Now you'll notice that the extender is centered on the one leg, and I'll show you a bird's eye view. Okay, here's our bird's eye view of the unilateral, or the one side. You'll notice the cassette and the extender are both centered on the femur. Okay, and I'm going to show you real quick what the centering for a bilateral exam looks like. Okay, now for both knees or a bilateral exam, you'll notice once again the knees are in the center, the cassette is centered, and the extender is centered across the legs evenly on both sides of the hips. And that's it for the Sunrise extender. You can see, simple, easy to use, easy to clean, and very affordable. Thanks once again for your interest in the Sunrise extender, and may you have many happy sunrises.